What a great improv show! I mean, it was so good, it didn't even look improvised. Did someone ever say that to you? Were you flattered? Because of course, if you want your improv work to look, sound and feel like scripted theater, well, in that case, I suppose you would be happy if someone tells you that you achieved that goal. But my question, which is of course rhetorical, is why would you want that? Why would you want your unscripted work to look like scripted work? Because if that's the case, another rhetorical question I ask myself is, why don't you directly do scripted? Because on one hand, I think that in order for you to get inspired for your improv work is to go out and watch as much scripted as you can. Like, want to improve how you improvise? Go out and watch classical theater like Shakespeare and Chekhov. Go out and watch experimental theater like contemporary dance meeting someone playing a bicycle, beating on it with a stick. As long as it's scripted, that will inspire your improv. But on the other hand, the work on scripted and on unscripted theater are completely different. I mean, I write scripted theater, I direct it, and I can't tell you how much I love it. It's been actually the first love of my life, even before I knew that improv theater existed. So I'm all for it. Just we know that the work on scripted is different, because when you go and see a scripted play, you want the actors to know. You want the actors to know what to say, and you want them to say beautiful things in a beautiful way. You want the actors to know where to go, how to move, where to look. You want them to execute a series of actions flawlessly. Of course, not flawlessly cold, but flawlessly putting in all their emotion, their intention and their truth into it. And this, of course, is beautiful. And it's beautiful like seeing a beautiful painting. It's like reading a beautiful book. It has a beauty that I absolutely don't want to diminish in any way. What I'm saying is that for improv, the work is slightly different, because we don't want the actors to always know what to do and to execute a series of actions perfectly. We want the opposite, and mind you, here the opposite of perfect, yes, it's imperfect, but in this case, imperfect doesn't mean any less good. When these people walk on stage and they walk around and they start doing actions and making a lot of eye contact and looking at what the others are doing, I always tell them, do and watch, do and watch, do and watch, gradually, from an empty stage with 4 lost people on it and completely empty, there is nothing, gradually you see, I don't know, here a tree appear because someone sees a tree and starts using a tree. And here you see a bench appear because someone sees a bench and starts using it. And you start seeing the magic happen before your eyes. And that is a thing that improv theater has and scripted will never have. And I think this is what we should value. But we just have to accept that we walk on stage and we do not know. Not yet. It will happen. And you're watching nothing become something. And I think sometimes it's a pity when improvisers tend to cover that. What they lose, in my opinion, is much, much more than what they gain. Of course, they gain certainty, because they know what to do. But what they lose is part of the magic, I think. I'm absolutely not making excuses for when improv is bad. This is not like a passepartout for improv being bad or lazy. Improv should be as good as it could be, and our responsibility as performers should be to make it as good as we possibly can. But how do we even define good? The example I was making earlier about the group scene where people don't know where they are and what they're doing and they gradually find out. To me, a way of making that better is to increase the connection between the players, give them more sense of playing as a team instead of having them playing as just individuals. That will mean making it better. To make them feel safe and to make the audience feel safe that, okay, boom, we're in a bar, oh, we're in a park. That to me is not my personal definition of better. It's just a definition of safer. But in improv, is safer necessarily the same as better? So sometimes I'm afraid that if you're trying to make your improv look too much like scripted work, your playing is going to be like a series of patches. Like, okay, so this time we have this problem, let's incorporate something in the format to avoid this problem. Patch, patch. And the formats will become basically a series of patches. But most importantly, the thing is that it will always chase but never reach scripted. And what I'm saying is that we shouldn't be chasing in the first place. We should value our differences as improvisers because our differences are precious. At least that's how I feel. So when people tell me that my show was so good that it looked like scripted, I ask myself, have I risked everything that I could risk? Have I taken all my chances? Have I really put everything I had in it? Maybe it did, I don't know. But I do ask myself the question. So if you made it this far into the video, first of all, congratulations. Second of all, I'll finish up my pasta con le zucchine and I will leave you with something that you might enjoy.
Most of the other guitar solos that you hear performed on stage have been practiced over and over and over again. They go out there and they play the same one every night, and it's really just spotless. My theory is this: I have a basic mechanical knowledge of the operation of the instrument, and I got an imagination. And when the time comes up in the song to play a solo, it's me against the laws of nature. I don't know what I'm going to play, I don't know what I'm going to do. I know roughly how long I have to do it, and it's a game where you have a piece of time and you get to decorate it. And depending on how intuitive the rhythm section is that's backing you up, you can do things that are literally impossible to imagine sitting here, but you can see them performed before your very eyes in a live performance situation. Well, think of it the other way. You know, what if you had to play exactly the same notes every night? Isn't that like punching a clock? Mm-hmm. Well, who needs that crap? Well, most people won't take that chance because I'll take the chance to go out there and make a mistake. I will take that chance for the privilege of doing something unique, one time only.